Our friend Sean Cunningham of Fox 40 joining us on the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Sean, as always, we appreciate you and your time, my friend. The trade for Kessler Edwards, just your quick thoughts. We know this isn't a landscape-changing move, but your reaction to the deal.
Good. Hey, guys. Good to be with you, man. Kessler Edwards is just a guy who kind of fits that little mold in what they look for lately. Every team, really. Just a guy with size who's athletic and obviously very, very young, 22 years old, and comes over looking for possibility of opportunity, really. I mean, a former second-round pick and California guy, so change of scenery would be good. I know his agent, Bill Duffy, very well, and he's always in the building at Golden One Center. So, this is a thing that could possibly be a change of scenery. Obviously, it's going to have some opportunity in the G League. It's also, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't point out that this move is not yet done. It's very close is what my reporting is on it. And, hopefully something that can work out. I mean, I know the team would have a team option if he sticks around past Thursday for next year at about $1.9 million, and could be some intriguing possibility there. But certainly, as you mentioned, Nick, is not something that's going to set the world on fire, be a landscape move for the Sacramento Kings.
You obviously know this organization, this team, the sport, as well as anybody that we talk to on a regular basis. Sean, was there any path, any script, any way in your mind when this season started that you would have thought they'd be at 30 wins by February 7th?
No, not at all. And to that point, we talked before the season started, and right as it was getting going, I didn't think they'd be as high as third in the West at any point. Not just like trickling in there for a game or two early in the season. I'm talking about having a rather strong chokehold on the third seed in the Western Conference for greater part of a month or so now. So no, that part is very surprising to me, and kudos to what they've been able to do, and Mike Brown and all the attention to detail that they've had, and really put out a basketball product that, despite some deficiencies on defense, and you see some very small incremental improvements along the way on the defensive end, and at times it can look really, really bad. But guys, this team, as we know, they play a very exciting brand of basketball, a very fast, efficient ball sharing offense. And to see them actually do that this year after years and years of hero basketball and dribbling the basketball to death, it's certainly uplifting for not only myself and the media who has to cover this team so often, but for these fans for sure.
Sean Cunningham with us here, Cattles and Rami, Sactown Sports. Keegan had a tough night on Sunday night. Sean, then he responds last night with a career-high 30. Can Keegan grow into this team's number 3 option by the end of this season, or is that asking too much too soon?
I would probably side with the too much too soon. I mean, certainly you don't need him to. It'd be nice if he did. I think the way I look at Keegan Murray, and I might be in the minority here, but certainly, what Harrison Barnes has meant to this team, especially this year, has been huge. I think he's produced numbers and played a role that has been so much more important than what they probably needed. And he's taken over a role in a way to really kind of hope to pass the reins on to Keegan Murray. And whether or not Harrison Barnes is here beyond this summer, beyond this season, remains to be seen. But if he doesn't, if he goes away and goes to a different situation, it should be poised very well to hand those reins off to Keegan Murray and let him really just kind of flourish with this Kings offense next year. So I feel like no matter if Harrison Barnes is a part of this team or not, Keegan Murray will step into that role and really kind of flourish in this type of system, especially along the guy like Domantas Sabonis, who is always calling out for him where to be, and he's learning from him, and he's such a ball share, just such a playmaker for him to really kind of succeed, and to see him do what he's doing beyond the arc. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's going to finish the season probably. I mean, if everything goes well, he could finish with the best numbers from 3-point line from a rookie ever, and I just think that's really incredible.
We're less than 48 hours away from the NBA trade deadline. How active do you think the Kings are right now in working the phones, and where do you see the greatest need for this Kings team to make that final playoff push?
Yeah, I think they're going to be really aggressive. I mean, this front office has shown the ability to do that, shown the want to do that. They've addressed needs in the past, and you've seen multiple moves almost at every step along the way with at the trade deadline with this team. So I think they've identified moves that they'd like to make. My whole thing is I think that they have pieces that aren't that attractive for the moves that they want to make. It's almost like you're car shopping and you're out there going, boy, I really like that car. I might not have the means to get it. And then the ones that I do have, it's like, well, what if I just wait a year? What if I just kind of rest and hold on to my laurels here and see what I can do? I think that's a big part of the calculus. And certainly there are a bunch of names that tend to circulate and get rumored and bantied about. And you asked me what I think is their biggest need. And I think my opinion probably varies from even what that front office would think would be their biggest area of need. I think, honestly, I'm always looking beyond just holding on to a playoff berth. I'm always looking to try to totally, revamp this team and to change the DNA of the team and swing for the fences again. And I think what they need is a bona fide starting a 3-and-D type player. I just don't know that they can go out and get it. I don't think you can go out and get someone like Pascal Siakam, someone like an OG Anunoby, or even smaller than that, like a Josh Hart. So, those are the types of moves I'd love to see them make. I think what they're going to look at is prioritizing a big man, a rim protector that can probably be there alongside Domantas Sabonis, but I don't think they're going to limit themselves that way. I think if they can find an upgraded position at the third guard, if they can find themselves even a poor man that can just get them to the end of the season, a la Josh Richardson for just to throw a name out there. And then obviously all these moves are addressing defense to a greater need, is that's obviously what they need. And Mike Brown won't be able to sleep until he adds something like that. So my whole concern is, can they add that player, but also be a rotational player? And you look at someone like Matisse Thybulle, who's probably a name who's been the loudest out there of recent weeks. And certainly he's an elite defender, but everything else is rather is a little disappointing and has actually regressed since his days at coming from Washington in that first year in the league of Philly. So I question how much you'll actually get rid of. I think if you can move an expiring piece that is already on your team that doesn't equate into your rotation, and you can bring in somebody like that, I think that's great. But I think when you start talking about moving multiple second-round picks to get a person here who might only be here for 20, 25 games, depending on how long your playoff run goes, then I have a little bit more concern there. So certainly I think they'll try to swing for the fence. I don't know that they can do it, but they're looking to hopefully change the DNA of this team.
Sean, we appreciate the time as always, man. Hopefully we have some big news here over the next couple of days, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Appreciate you guys. Have fun.
You too. Thanks. There goes Sean Cunningham from Fox 40 on the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda,
your one-stop Honda shop.